Hey everyone, and welcome back to our AI-powered development journey. Last month, we set up our entire project, from local dev environments to CI/CD pipelines, all supercharged by AI. Now it's time for month 2, where we dive headfirst into the core of development, writing, reviewing, and automating our code with artificial intelligence as our trusted copilot. This is where the magic really starts to happen, transforming how we build software from the ground up. Ready to see how AI can take your coding workflow to the next level? Let's get into it. We're kicking off week 5 with a foundational, yet often overlooked, aspect of any great project: documentation. But this isn't your typical tedious documentation process. We're doing it the AI way. I'm starting by typing out some initial thoughts on our system architecture, just rough notes. Now, watch this. I'll feed these notes to our AI assistant. Instantly, it starts to structure them, creating a detailed API design document in a clean Markdown file. It's not just formatting. It's understanding the intent behind my notes and creating a professional design doc. But it doesn't stop there. The AI is also referencing its vast knowledge base to suggest best practices and even pull in links to relevant documentation for the technologies we were using. Next, we're generating code. With our architecture defined, the AI can now generate boilerplate code that strictly follows the rules we've laid out. Notice the folder structure? It perfectly mirrors the design we just created. The domain models are being created automatically, saving us hours of manual setup. As we build, our documentation is a living entity. You can see the documentation sidebar is always visible in my IDE. The AI is linking our docs directly to the code through comments. Every function, every class has its context right there. And finally, to wrap up week 5, our main repository documentation, the README file, is automatically updated by the AI to reflect all the new modules in APIS we've just added. Our project is not just being built. It's being documented in real time, making it understandable and maintainable from day one. Welcome to week 6, requirement to code in minutes. We're starting in our project management tool. Here's a new feature request ticket. It describes a new user profile endpoint we need to build. I'm just going to copy the feature description directly from the ticket. No need to translate it into technical specs myself. Now, I'll switch over to my IDE and paste that description into a comment. I'll prompt my AI copilot telling it to implement this feature. And just like that, it starts generating the necessary entity class for the user profile. It understands the data structure needed from the description alone. Next, it moves on to the service logic. All the business rules, the data handling, it's all being written right before our eyes. And now, the controller. The API endpoints are being generated, complete with request and response handling. The entire vertical slice of the feature is materializing from a single comment. Now for the moment of truth. Let's run the application locally. With the app running, I'll open up my API testing tool. I'm sending a request to the new endpoint that the AI just created. And there it is, a successful response. From a requirement ticket to a fully functional and tested API endpoint in just a few minutes. This is the sheer power and speed that AI brings to the development lifecycle. This is the future of building software. All right, let's move into week 7, and we're tackling one of the most critical parts of the development process, the code review, but we're giving it a massive AI upgrade. Here on the screen is a pull request I've just submitted. Traditionally, a teammate would have to manually go through this line by line. Instead, I'm triggering our AI code review tool. The AI immediately starts scanning all the new code changes. It's not just looking for syntax errors. It's performing a deep analysis. Look, it's already highlighting a potential performance issue, suggesting a more efficient way to query the database. This is a subtle bug that could easily be missed by a human reviewer under pressure. Now, it's pointing out a missing piece of input validation, a potential weak spot. It's even suggesting the exact code to fix it. And here, it's found a minor security recommendation, suggesting we use a more secure library for handling user data. The feedback is clear, concise, and actionable. As the developer, I can see these suggestions directly in the pull request interface. I agree with this fix. So I'll click to apply the AI's suggested change. The tool automatically applies the fix to my branch. I'll just commit the updated code, and you can see the pull request is instantly updated. AI isn't just a reviewer. It's a collaborator that helps us write better, safer, and more efficient code before it ever gets merged. We've reached week 8, the final week of our deep dive into AI-driven development. We're taking the AI code review from week 7 and putting it on autopilot. The goal is to enforce our team's coding standards automatically. First, I'm opening a configuration file where we can define our own custom code review guidelines. I'm writing a new rule in plain English. All public API endpoints must have a corresponding integration test. Now, watch what happens. The AI reads this new rule file, instantly understanding the intent. I have another pull request here that adds a new endpoint but is missing a test. As soon as the pull request is opened, our automated system kicks in. The AI scans the changes and checks them against our custom rulebook, and there it is. An automated comment appears directly in the pull request, flagging that the new endpoint is missing its integration test. It's like having a tireless team member ensuring quality around the clock. We can build out a comprehensive code review checklist this way. Naming conventions, error handling patterns, documentation standards, all of it can be automated. By the end of this process, the pull request shows a checklist of all the rules that have been checked, with clear indicators of what passed and what failed. This frees up our senior developers from routine checks and allows them to focus on complex architectural decisions, making our entire team more efficient and our code base more robust. And that's a wrap for month 2. We've transformed our development process, moving from manual documentation to living AI-generated docs. We've gone from requirement tickets to functional code in minutes. We've empowered our code reviews with deep AI analysis and even automated our team as unique coding standards. The theme of this month has been speed, quality, and collaboration, with AI acting as a powerful partner every step of the way. We're not just writing code faster, we're writing better code. What we've covered in these 4 weeks lays the groundwork for scaling our project effectively and maintaining high quality as we grow. Imagine a whole team working with these tools. The consistency and efficiency would be incredible. This is a fundamental shift in how software is made. Thank you so much for joining me on this part of the journey. Next month, we'll explore even more advanced AI applications in testing and deployment. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.